Welcome to another episode. I am so excited. Some of you guys, if you followed me last week, I had mentioned to you about, with the situation with the federal agency, government downsizing, laying off and all that. And it's affecting a lot of us right now. It's interesting when I talked about, when they get laid off, they would have to find another job. So if you lay off one agency, there are other agency and small business owner that may be doing business with that particular agency. So if they're gone, that means they could be gone. It is a train wreck out there, guys. It is a train wreck, and I am very, very concerned. So a lot of folks had a concern. My last episode talked about when someone, of course, left the job, what do they do next? And one of the last episode I mentioned about people needing health insurance. So I'll continue this episode today about the health insurance piece. So when you leave a company or a job that you previously have health insurance, what they do is they say to you, hey, look, you have another option. You could continue on your coverage for a limited time through a program called COBRA. And a lot of folks, they say, oh, okay, well, I do need health insurance because my kids are sick, my family is sick, and I can't not sustain not having that. So what they do is they buy COBRA. And what they don't realize is the COBRA insurance is very, very high, very expensive, guys. When you leave a job or something like that, you really, really should be going through healthcare.gov, those kind of program out there. Or if you get in touch with me, Shirley and Associates, and I could guide you, give some resources where you could go to get affordable health insurance. Now, health insurance is one piece, but if you're getting ready to turn 65, you probably need to start thinking about Medicare. And that's the other things too that people kind of don't think about. And some people just wait to apply for Medicare. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but did you know that if you don't apply Medicare in a timely manner, the government will pay you a penalty? I have a lot of senior people that delayed in filing Medicare. They're like, oh, I didn't know I have to, or I forgot, or someone was supposed to do it for me. They don't care, guys. The government does not care, okay? It is your responsibility to do it, and if you don't, you get that penalty. But you know what? Guess what? The penalty never goes away. Did I tell you? It never goes away. It stays with you until the day you die. Yes, that is correct. Read my lips. You don't apply Medicare by age 65? So, of course, whether you're still working or not, that plays into factor, okay? So don't take it back. But it is important when you are eligible and things like that, if you forget to do so, you get a penalty. Anyway, so let's back to COBRA. So the key thing is when getting laid off a job, I think it's really critical for you to be able to sit there, all right, here's what I need to do. Can you take a look at my current plan? Today I have $30 deductible, $50 deductible when I go to a doctor, when I need help. And then you're going to look at, okay, what is my maximum out of pocket that do I have to pay? Keep in mind, the higher out of pocket for deductible, your cost of insurance less. Because the insurance company say, well, okay, if you went to pay $10,000, deductible before we do it, then we'll keep that cost down. If you say, you know what, I only want my deductible $2,500. That means if in a year's time, if I go into hospital and the bill costs $50,000, I'm responsible for $2,500. You're responsible for the rest. That's how deductible works. And it's important for you to understand on the health aspect of it. Originally, I wasn't going to go into health insurance piece of it, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and do it right now in this episode because I think health insurance is a critical part as part of your financial planning. So when it comes to health insurance, a couple things you need to keep in mind. The premium, what you can afford, how many in the family, are you planning to cover? Is husband and wife working? And also another thing that I think people pay attention to, okay, should I buy separate health insurance outside? Or, oh, my husband go to work. Should I be on his plan? Sometimes it makes sense for you to be on the company plan, because let me tell you why. If you're working right now inside the company plan, what it has is the company said, you know what, you're a good employer of ours. Part of the benefits is that we're going to help pay 50% of your health insurance. So think about this, right? If the health insurance costs $1,000 a month and the company is paying $500 of it, you're only paying $500. Whereas outside, people are paying $1,000. That's why if a company can help cover the plan, do it. But the other things I think you need to keep in mind too, not all companies will cover wife and kids, right? They may say, hey, you know, John, I'll cover you, but for your wife and kid, I'll make it available as part of the plan, but I won't pay for that cost of the 50%. What you need to do is how the best way to do is inquire with your human resources and the people who do the benefit and say, hey, if I did this, what does that look like? You know, if I did this, you know, just explore it. People just sit there, I can never figure it out. Why don't they ever explore that or explore outside? Because it's your money, guy. Every penny counts that you can save, right? So from an insurance perspective, you need to do that. And if you got laid off or changed job and all that, and you absolutely need insurance, then you may need to go through other route or means, okay, to be able to get. And I tell you, when Obama created the health ACA, they call it Obamacare, ACA, affordable, whatever, all the things that people name it. You know what, guy, for 20 million Americans, that was an incredible, incredible program that rescued a lot of folks. Now, you can say it's good, it's bad, and all that, but let me tell you, it was something that we had to offer people out there that didn't have it. And then, of course, for people who can afford that, then you've got Medicaid situation where you didn't make enough money, you couldn't afford the payment, then Medicaid kind of step in to help those people who don't have the money, who could not afford that. I just think having these kind of resources, having these kind of benefit program could help the people out there. It's just a great things that, you know, from an advocacy standpoint, I stand in the middle and I see how it can benefit anyone on all level. Then you've got, you know, Medicare, you know, where Medicare, look, all of us can get old, guys. It's coming, whether we like it or not. And so when you hit, you know, 65, you go into a different category. The government say, hey, you're 65 now, so you've been working in your life and things like that. You've been paying taxes and, you know, Medicare and things like that, and FICA taxes, all these things that you've been paying. We think we want to help you as you retire to provide a program that can help you cover in the event that you need health insurance. So I think Medicare is a great thing. I think we should have that. I think that program should continue, and I don't think that program should be diminished because, you know, we need to take care of our senior guys. You know, one day you're going to be senior out there, and you're going to want someone to take care of you. And if you work all your lives, you know, paying your dues, that should happen. Just like same thing with Social Security. I truly believe in that. If you go to work and you're paying to Social Security, all the years that you pay into it, you should have a right to get your compensation. You know, there are so many things that are beneficial to the country that I think, you know, we should have a serious look at. We're going to do anything about it. Take a serious look from budgeting and finance, what we could afford to cut and what we could not afford to cut. Do a systematic of downsizing, of looking at stuff, and just not blanket. I don't believe there's any one program out there that's totally bad. There may be things on a certain program that you can trim the fat off or get rid of that's unnecessary, or whether a division of a corporation or a company that's all bad. Because I don't believe an organization's got 100,000 people working there and all 100,000 of those people are really, really bad and that they deserve, you know. I think there are some workers that may not live up to what they're supposed to do, or maybe some excessive spending stuff that may not be necessary. But I do think in life, I think like everything else, I think you have to relook at where you are. But, you know, but back into, you know, the health insurance things, I think I highly recommend you guys take a serious look at what you have. It's not just health insurance once you guys being laid off. There's another issues at hand. It has to do with life insurance. And I'm not going to go into that life insurance this episode, but I had one of the employee came to me and said, Shirley, I had $1 million account with the current employer where I worked, and I paid pretty good price on it. And guess what? He just got let go. The $1 million went bye-bye. Got 4 kids with a family. He's older now. He's 62. And he is sitting there with devastated the fact that, one, I can't afford when they're telling me that if I want to continue on this policy outside, it would cost me this much. He just couldn't afford it. So that's something that you all need to talk about and think about. I get it. You go to work, you get that free stuff that's giving you base pay, and you pay extra for the other stuff. But let me tell you, time goes by quick, because those extra stuff you're paying, it increases every year, and you don't even paying attention 1 penny to it. So what I'd like to do is, on the next episode, I want you to tune in next Saturday in May, because guess what? I'm going to talk about the next in-depth about the insurance that is covering out there to millions and hundreds of millions of folks out there. You know why? I mean, you can't get ahead. You can't make money. You can't leave legacy or wealth. It's because we're all following the same herd of that thinking, of having companies that are going to take care of us, having companies going to provide us these kind of benefit forever. Guys, those days are gone. I think you need to take a hard look. Pension plan are gone. Days that you're thinking you're going to be employed there forever are gone. All those. The only time that you're going to have that thing forever, if you create your own business. So, when I get on TV, guys, I get very passionate about all these kind of things, because I see it happening around the world, and it happened here in the United States. Just want to raise awareness. My job is to do financial education. Again, until next time, I've always tell you guys, try to uplift others, bring out more education to folks, because the world needs us right now. And with that being said, remember, we rise by uplift others. You can always reach me, 703-608-1203, or Google my name, Shirley Liu with an L-U-U. Until next time.